Hello, 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 and happy Sunday, everyone. It is so great to be back. For those of you who are not aware, welcome to Joanne's Healing Within. I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck, a mom and a wife. And we're still in 2022, so I guess I'm still helping you become the best version of who you are in 2022. And hopefully you're aware that each and every day you're peeling a layer so you could be that best version of who you are. So let's do a little housekeeping. Start off with please share, like, and comment. I know it's been a little while. I feel like I haven't been here in days and weeks, but it's only been 2 weeks out that I have not been because I haven't quite figured out how to clone myself so I could be here and also at other events. But I am here today and I'm super excited to be here. So again, share, like, and comment on today's show. Bring in your friends. And in just a second, I'm gonna share a like on my phone as well. But before we do, I wanna just recognize my advertising sponsors that help this show run week after week after week. As I have the very first, which is Kitty Foss and Amy Martin. They are the hosts of Intuition of the Soul. And they have amazing programs that go on week after week after week, day after day for that matter, many free programs and also paid. So we also then have Dr. Terry Morse. She is a natural, she deals with natural medicine, so she's a naturopath for that matter. Then we have Gabriella. She is medical intuitive and also the founder of Alive Solution. Kendrick Greer, my favorite astrologer. He's one of my favorite astrologers. He's actually my mentor. He's basically who I've learned so much of my astrology from. So kudos to him. Joe Monkman, he's our shamanic healer practitioner and also wellness advocate. CJ Ives Lopez, she's the host and the publisher of the Author's Porch magazine and podcast. Nick Rafter is our real estate agent. So for those of you who are looking for that new home, apartment, or even looking to sell, please reach out to him. He's also our journalist, writer, and editor, should you be looking to get that book edited. Lisa Nice, our physical therapist and Mary Kay consultant. And she still is looking for those amazing faces. So if you are someone who wants to get to know more about Mary Kay, please reach out to her. And I think I've mentioned all of our advertising sponsors. I always get a little confused. There's so many of them. But anyway, so how are we all doing? I know where I'm living is quite warm. In fact, AC is actually on right now because it's really, really hot out. I'm hoping where you are, it's just as hot, unless you like the cooler weather. I'm definitely not going to complain because I've actually been looking for the hot weather to come in. So let's talk a little bit about not the weather, cosmic energy, based on all that's been going on. Hopefully you've been following me on my different platforms where I go live and sharing about how our planets, there are so many planets right now in the process of shifting. And why I feel so passionate about coming here to share this with you is because we are connected to our planets. And when a planet, especially just one planet, shifts, it causes our energy system to sort of shift as well. So when we have, let's say, 5 or 6 planets shifting pretty much within a day apart of each other, that creates a lot of energy within our system. Now, each planet is associated with one of our chakras, and each chakra is associated with a body part. So just imagine when we have 5 or 6 planets shifting in the course of a 7-day period, how you might be feeling. Now, these, as I like to call it, when these planets are shifting in a week's period, it creates a lot of energy flowing into our bodies. And sometimes that energy cannot really flow as rapidly as these planets are moving, which then creates some stagnation in our system. And that stagnation may show up as physical discomforts, physical symptoms that I often am hearing and reading and connecting with many people who are complaining about different physical elements that are showing up. And I really want you to understand that when a physical symptom is showing up, yes, definitely if you need that reinsurance to have to run to your doctor to find out what's actually going on, I welcome you to do that. But also be aware that perhaps if it's a physical symptom, a metaphysical symptom that's showing up due to the energy of our planets flowing, reality of it all is you'll go to the doctor, and the doctor may very well say to you, well, we don't see any reason why you might be feeling what you're feeling. And that's because it isn't a medical reason behind the physical symptom. And that physical symptom is really only showing up because of the metaphysical explanation to that physical symptom. So I'm going to share two with you because these two are pretty much the most common ones that keep showing up for many people. So the first physical symptom that many people experience is the heart, where they may feel anxiousness, they may feel like their heart is racing and they're not doing anything. That's usually called like heart palpitations, so to speak. And because of that, the energy that's flowing from the planets down to our chakra system, it may be getting stuck in the heart chakra because there's so much going on there. And because it gets stuck, that might very well create some physical, metaphysical symptom to show up, which is that anxiety or heart palpitations. The second medical symptom or metaphysical symptom that may show up for many and is our hips. I've been hearing a lot of people complain about tight hips. Their hips are tight. When they sit too long, they get that, there's a syndrome. It's a piriformis syndrome, or some call it sciatica issues, where it like literally sits right in the deep part of the buttocks and it gets really, really tight. And really all that means is that you have decisions to make that you may not be comfortable making, or you're not ready to make a decision, because our hips are all about making decisions. So those are just two of many metaphysical explanations that could be showing up based on all this energy that is trying to flow from one chakra to the other. Now, the hips are associated with your root chakra because theoretically it sits in the root. When you think about it, our hips are very close to the root itself. So I'm hoping those two metaphysical explanations help you out a little bit. Now, if I haven't mentioned something that you're experiencing, this is an opportunity for you to go ahead, if you're watching us live, put in the comments what you might be feeling, what physical symptom might be showing up for you. And if you're watching this on the replay, you can always email healingwithin76@gmail.com, mention that particular area that you're feeling the physical discomfort from, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you to give you some information to how to manage and heal from that physical symptom that is showing up. So with that being said, what I like to do is I'm going to shuffle up my cards because I want to give you some insight to what one chakra, one affirmation, and one number that's going to provide a lot of information to you for today based on what I just shared about the energy that there's so many planets shifting this week. And I will briefly go over those planets before we go to a commercial break. The card that's showing up, interesting enough, is in reverse. Okay, reverse cards just means that we need to pay attention to the message, but also we want to work on that chakra, which is the high heart, not the center of the heart, our high heart. It's about communication, which really interesting as the sun, which is one of our planets, has just entered into Gemini season. So bye-bye Taurus, and now Gemini. Gemini is all about communication. And perhaps you may be having a challenging time communicating, getting your words out, expressing what you want to say to somebody, or feeling like you want to say something, but you don't think they're going to be able to receive the information the way you want them to, which is why the card might be in reverse. Communication is all about learning to listen. Pay attention to what other people are saying, and also pay attention to what messages are coming through spirit and your body, because your body is communicating with you as well. So if you are experiencing the heart palpitation or anxiety or stiffness in the hips, that's your body's way of letting you know there's an emotion that needs your attention. Also, let's talk about 1 and 2, which is 3. Now 3, again, let's go back to that Gemini energy. It's the 3rd house. It's a representation of Gemini. It's also a representation of Mercury, for that matter. And when we think about it, Mercury right now is in retrograde. And I'm sure you all know what retrograde means by now. It just means the planet, the energy of that planet goes backwards and gives us an opportunity to reflect, but not do just yet. So that's the energy. High heart is what you want to work on today. Work on clearing the energy from the high heart so you can start to feel better. Now, as I mentioned, and I want to keep to my promises, I want to mention the planets that are in the midst of getting ready to shift from one thing to the other before we go on the commercial break. So as I mentioned, on this past Friday, May 20th, the sun entered Gemini energy, which is all about communication. Then today, Sunday, the 22nd, and I'm going to talk more about this energy when we come back from commercial break, but today, Mercury is going to dip back into Taurus energy, still a retrograde though, and this is a big portion of our conversation for today, so hang in there. And then we have Mars. Mars is our planet of action, and that's going to enter into Aries as of the 24th, which is 2 days away, and you might already start to feel this energy. Then we have Venus that's entering Taurus, lots of energy in Taurus going on, this Saturday coming, which I think is the 28th. So now we have Mercury that's dipping back into Taurus and Venus in Taurus as of the 28th. And remember, we're going to be doing a lot more talking about this a little later today. Then the new moon in Gemini, that's going to be right along the line, right in conjunction with the sun. And that's taking place on Memorial Day weekend, which is the 30th. And then last but not least, that energy shifting, we have Saturn that's going to go into retrograde in Aquarius on June 4th. So a lot of energy shifting, which means a lot of energy trying to flow through your body system, which could be one of the reasons why your body is trying to talk to you, because maybe the energy is not flowing as easily as it can from one chakra point to the other. So check in on your body, ask your body, what is your body trying to tell you, and take some time to sit quietly to make that connection. After all, the word is communication, but it's in reverse, so please pay attention to that. With that being said, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the numbers of today. I'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kitty Foss.
And I'm Amy J.
And we're Intuition of the Soul. We are a Facebook and YouTube group that has created a sacred spiritual place to look at your spiritual practices.
And there's too much to tell you about what we do, but let me tell you, we have weekly activities, we have monthly activities, and you are not going to want to miss our spiritual practitioner series. So join us on Intuition of the Soul.
Aloha.
Each of us has a mission. What's your mission? Would you like to become a community health resource specialist so you can help your family and your community? For more information on this new training, email me at terry@morsewellness.com. That's TERRY @MORSE wellness.com. You can become a community health resource specialist.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I'm super excited to be here with you today. If you did miss the first part of the show, I urge you to go back later to check out what it is I shared with you. I shared a little bit about the card today, which is all about communication, but the card was in reverse. And when a card shows up in reverse, it does need your attention. The chakra to work on today is the high heart, which is really like right in the middle of the heart center and the throat chakra. So it really is about that communication, which is the message today. What is it that you need to communicate? What is it your body is communicating with you? I also shared 2 metaphysical symptoms that I've noticed that a lot of people are experiencing. So please go back later and watch what it is I've shared so you can get some insight in reference to how your body does talk to you, especially because the number is 3. And in numerology, the number 3 is about communication, networking, connecting, brainstorming, marketing, and listening as well, education and teaching and learning for that matter. But in astrology, the number 3 is associated with the 3rd house, which is about Mercury energy, which right now, Mercury's in retrograde. And today specifically, now up until today, Mercury was in retrograde in Gemini energy, but it's dipped back into Taurus. Now, I'm actually going to save that part of the conversation for a little later on today for my guest when she comes on, because she's going to be talking about that, because she's going to share some story and some insight to this energy and how this energy is going to influence you. I bring this information to you because I want you to really understand what's going on and why things may be showing up in your life the way they're showing up. Because I truly believe our planets and us, we are connected. We are literally energetically connected. So as I said in my intro, when the planets are rotating, that does impact our energy. So we think about that third house, it's also associated with Gemini, which is where the sun is right now. So depending on where your sun sign is, will then give you the theme to what this energy for the next 3 weeks will be highlighting for you. But what I want to talk about today, one of my favorite things in the whole wide world is about numerology. And if you can grab a pen and paper, I want you to write down today's date, but I don't want you to write it down in reference like May. I want you to write it down as the numbers. So we have 5/22/2022. Now, the energy of today is very significant and also very powerful and magical, and can really help you maneuver through this upcoming week with all this energy that is coming through. So I don't want to leave the number 5 out of this equation today because it's important. But what I do want to do is put that to the side just for a moment and tap into that 22. In numerology, there are 3 master numbers. When we speak of master numbers do not get taken down to a single digit, but it does carry the same meaning as a single digit. So those 3 numbers are 11, 22, and 33. Now, today's date is the 22nd. So right off the bat, that is a reminder that every one of us are building something. 22 equals master builder. So we are all building something in today's energy. Whether we are conscious of it or not, we are all building something in today's energy. Now, what I like to tap into is the fact that there are 3 2s right next to each other, and that's 222. Now, there are so many people out there, including me, where we get a little caught in our head, in our ego, shall we say, where we start to second guess everything. We start to lose faith. We start to lose trust. And we start wondering, well, how come this is not happening? How come I don't have this? Why is it I don't have enough money? Well, that 222, should you ever see it, whether it shows up on the clock, shows up on a license plate, shows up on a receipt, shows up today, that's a reminder that everything is in perfect order. And to have faith and trust that you're exactly where you need to be. Nothing has ever happened to you. Everything happens for you. And when we think about that 222, it is a reminder that we need to come back to faith. We need to come back and recognize that we're not walking this journey alone. We are totally supported. We have the support, and I'm going to put it in this order. We have the support of God. Every one of us was created by God. Now, whether you want to use the term God, Buddha, universe, whomever it is, or even higher power, what it really comes down to is we were all created by God. And God gave every one of us, God ordained every one of us with a specific purpose and a reason for being here on earth. And as long as you have a pulse, you have a purpose. And it's really important to come back to God in regards to trusting that He gave you something to do in this lifetime, to demonstrate, to heal, and support in this lifetime. But it's really important to trust that whatever it is we're supposed to be doing, with the help of the planets right now, there may be a lot of shifting going on. So how you might have seen it in the last, let's say, 12 years, it may start to look very different going forward. And that's where we might get a little confused and worried and doubtful and start not trusting. And like I said, I'm included in that too, because there are days where I'm like, what exactly is going on in my world with my business and my relationships, etc. And bringing myself back to recognizing that I'm not walking this path alone. I have the support of God. As long as I stay on the path and know that He definitely guided me and He ordained me for this amazing purpose that I have. After all, as a holistic personal trainer, He didn't just ordain me to be a personal trainer, which it was, give and take, maybe the first 20 years of my life, but that has all changed over time. So that's a very powerful thing to understand. So now I want to move into that in this date that there are double 22. So that means we have a 22-22, which again, what are you building? What are you working on in this very moment? Now, here's the magic. Here's the magic of the entire date. Let's add those numbers up. So when we have the 5, and in 2022, that number is 6. So we have 5 and 6, which is 11. So 11 is that second, or should we say that first master number, which is about being a master healer. You are healing the relationship with yourself. You are healing the relationships with everybody around you as well. As you work on healing you and peeling those layers that no longer serve you, you are becoming a different version of yourself, which then means as you become a different version of yourself, you are attracting different people into your life. The old version of you no longer exists. So if you have friends and colleagues that match the old version of you, you may suddenly start to see that they are going to fade away and that you're going to start to meet new people that's going to match this new version of you because you are the master healer. You are healing the relationship with self. So we have that 11. We have the 22 as you're the master builder. Now, here's the magic. Now, when you add those numbers, 5, 22, 2022, you get 33. I believe, and I checked the calendar to double check, triple check. I believe this is the very first time that we have 3 master numbers in one date. And that's what makes today so special, is because we have a 33. Now, we don't speak about the number 33 often because it very rarely shows up on our calendar. But today, here it is. And the meaning of 33 is the master creator, the master teacher, the master sacrificer. The meaning, the master number of 33 carries the vibration of God, Buddha, higher power. So it is about sacrificing. You're going to sacrifice something so you can step into that soul's purpose that you were ordained to do from God. You're going to sacrifice. You're going to push away whatever does not serve you anymore. And that could be really scary when we're being advised to push things away that doesn't serve so we can step into that newer version of ourselves. So can you see how magical this date is for today? I believe it's completely magical. And if you can use this and combine it with all the energies that's going on with our planets right now, it's a win-win. You are a master healer, you are a master builder, and you're a master creator. You're a master teacher. You are teaching yourself how to sacrifice. You are teaching yourself how to build. You are teaching yourself how to heal the relationship with yourself. So you can have the best relationships with others and also help others build what they're here to build as well. We're all in this together. We're not doing this alone, and we totally have the support of God, higher power, the universe, however you want to word it, but that's what it is. So I've given you a lot of information here. I want you to take it in. So with that, I'm going to take a quick commercial break so you can digest everything I just spoke about. And when I come back, I'm going to have my amazing storyteller of astrology, Kitty Foss, here with me. And we're going to talk about the planets. I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm CJ. The Author's Porch is a community where you find good books and good people. We collaborate with services that deliver quality to authors and publish a magazine for authors by authors. Come by, let us feature you or review your book. Coffee is always on, and no matter what time you arrive or where you come from, the porch light is always on.
If you are turned off by conventional medicine and their mantra, "Do you want meds for that?" there's a better option. I'm Gabriella Mihalichan, medical intuitive and healer. Let me help you find the root cause of your illness and guide you through healing. My intuitive method directs your body to heal itself and removes barriers to healing. I invite you to schedule a session today at AliveHealthSolutions.com.
Hi, My name is Lisa Nice, and I'm an independent beauty consultant for Mary Kay. I'm also a single mom of 5 and a physical therapist, so I love Mary Kay because it fits so nicely into my lifestyle. New year, new you. I'm looking for 15 faces, and it's a free either facial or a glam look. You get free samples, and you get entered to win a $200 beautiful Kate Spade bag. So if anything about this commercial has interested you, like number 1, the opportunity, number 2, be a face. So call me, 908-546-0266. Try it, you're gonna love it.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Colon, and I have my amazing guest, Kitty Foss, who's our storyteller of astrology. Now, again, share, like, and comment on today's show. And if you missed the first 2 parts of today's show, you can always come back and watch. We're on almost every platform, including Roku and Optimum TV for those who are in Long Island on channel 115 at 2 p.m. on Thursdays. Anyway, so I'm going to dive in. Our title, as it says, Mercury dips back to Taurus. Now, I could have very well have shared this information with you, but I wanted it to be exciting and have a story behind it. And that's what Kitty is known for. So, Kitty, how are you?
I'm fine. Joanne knows this, but I was in the middle of helping a friend get her house ready, so we're cleaning. So that's why I look like this, and it's a job. So thank you so much for asking me to come on. It is actually quite the story about this. You know, I'll just dive right in, right?
Yeah, why not?
We are still living very much in this eclipse energy. And of course, the original solar eclipse was in Taurus with the full lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And then our friend Jupiter moves into Aries. And so this Mercury is a really interesting player right now, because what is conjunct with our Mercury in Taurus is all the outer planets. So this is that bigger collective energy that is having a conversation with Mercury right now, and you're having this conversation internally. And really, the outer planets and Jupiter are all kind of in this amazing laying a platform for the next few months. And we'll be in this kind of energy for 6 months. But of course, you know, Mercury originally, before we moved into the time of Gemini just this past week, was traveling in its home sign before it went retrograde. And this part of Taurus that we're going over until depending where you live, 2nd or 3rd of June, is going to be gone over 3 times. And anytime something goes like that 3 times, and of course, especially in this time, there's a lot of higher energy coming through here, higher messages about starting and beginning and your experiences, because of course Mercury is about experiences. And though you may be feeling a lot of things to begin, because Mercury is retrograde, getting all your ducks in a row is kind of important right now. It's kind of important to look at the bigger picture and make sure that you've got kind of those backup plans. Well, if this doesn't quite work, this is where I'll go. But it's a great time. We're in this great big time of pausing and waiting, and the information is coming now, but it's coming from a really bigger realm. And so it's a really kind of wild time. And you kind of were saying that all week, weren't you, Joanne?
I sure was. I mean, I think with all these planets, that's actually starting as of, let's say, Friday that we just passed, where the sun moved into Gemini. And today, as I was sharing with you prior to today's show, how Mercury dips back into Taurus on this particular date. I mean, it's like, and I checked the calendar, you know, in regards to if we've ever had 3 of the master numbers in one date before. And I think today, this day is the only time we've ever experienced this type of energy. So there's a lot to be said about this energy of today and the fact that Gemini is dipping back to Taurus. Now, as you said, in regards to this is, many of us might have a lot going on in our head, trying to figure, you know, trying to put all the pieces together. And of course, with Mercury in retrograde, reality is we're not really supposed to know the answers right now, are we?
No, because anything, well, first of all, Mercury is home planet, ruler planet is Gemini, and it is the planet itself is our communication, and Gemini is about our experiences, and we're in the time of Gemini. So it's not like it's just, oh, Mercury left Gemini. That's its home, and we're in the time of Gemini. So that need to experience and evaluate and learn. This is the only air planet that is a personal planet. So this is about our own personal learning, our own personal communication, our own personal journey. And yet, here's this Taurus, which is quite the energy this year between our North Node for the world and Uranus. And so this is this chaotic, what is it we want to find and awaken about in general. And then it's retrograde going back over this same spot. So there's a foreshadowing here about things to come that you've been getting little glimpses of probably over the last 4 months or 4 weeks. So
yes. And then in addition, as you just mentioned, we have, where Mercury's dipping into Taurus, we have the North and South nodes going on. And by the end of this week, Venus will also be going into Taurus.
yes.
So let's talk about a little bit of that too, how that plays into the realm of things.
Well, Venus is going into Taurus, but Mars is going into Aries. So
Yes.
we're also going to have its ruler come. Mars is moving into its ruler. So Venus and Mars have been traveling together, which isn't completely usual. And now this is the point where they're starting
They're going to separate.
They're starting to separate. They've been
Yes.
for the last 6 months, pretty much, the ultimate male energy and the female energy, the masculine and feminine. And so we also have Mars moving into its, so wow, it's just a whole lot of stuff. And, Venus in Taurus is about home, is about our relationship, and our primary home and our primary relationship always starts with us. We are, wherever we go, we're home. Some of us have more need for a place, but some, as long as we have our bodies and they're working, we're home. And Venus is love, the relationship energy. And so this is really about self-love. Meanwhile, you've got the ultimate masculine energy moving into action. What are you going to take for self-love that stabilizes you? Because this is Taurus. This is about what we value. Taurus is about the money we earn. Scorpio is about the money we spend. And so we have that theme going on throughout this year, but especially this month.
Yes.
And now you're in Gemini. You're in that wants you to think about it and experience it and get going on it. So yeah, what an interesting, Venus rules Taurus, and Mars is ruled by Aries. So they're not only are they not together, but they're in their signs that are their rulers.
They're comfortable.
They're very comfortable.
Yes,
so
yes.
there's a lot that can be
Yes.
started this week. And no, you're not supposed to know about it, because this is really about the allowing what's coming forth for you.
Yeah. Yes. And what I'd like to add to that, as Kitty was saying regarding the money going out and the money coming in, this is a really good time, where you might be in your head evaluating it all, but as they say in the law of attraction, in order to receive money, you have to be willing to put money out. Whereas if you're constantly holding on to your money and thinking, like, I have to put this in a bank account, or I have to put it under my mattress, wherever you put your money, if you're not allowing that money to flow, then you're literally going to fall into that space of feeling like you don't have enough money. And that's that internal dialogue that then blocks us from that abundance as well. So I want everybody to really pay attention to that internal dialogue that you're having with yourself. And I only say this because I often have this conversation with myself where I have to constantly keep reminding myself, I have to put the money out there. So I have to be willing to say yes to certain opportunities that show up, and not be afraid that, well, I don't have it right in my hand right now, so how am I supposed to say yes? Well, that's really where the trust factor comes in, and recognizing that the minute you do say yes and you're confident in your yes, that begins that flow. And that will allow things to come in, and then things start to go into abundance of flowing. What do you think about that, Kitty?
Well, I think that that's really important. And part of this last solar eclipse in Scorpio was, yes, you have to let things flow and abundance and prioritize. Where then, if I need to trust this step, can I make sure that maybe I've got some things I can let go of that I do, or I spend my money on, or that I value? Not just the physical money, but that I value, so I can put this energy in trusting what's going on and not being pulled in lots of directions. What can I do in a day that allows me to step into the flow without either trying to take too much control or hold on to stuff? So
Exactly.
kind of this is a period of time where like everything you are is kind of passing before you, and
Exactly.
has been, and now you're starting to get the Gemini energy of oh, I'm starting to see what that means. It's exciting, but remember, this in retrograde, it's an internal dialogue. It's asking you to be quiet. Again, we just came out of a big quiet period, but again, all right, it's coming forth, but you have to be quiet enough to listen to it.
Exactly. Otherwise, if you're in your head and you're overthinking everything, that noise you got going on in your head may cause you not to hear what you need to hear. And it's really interesting. My husband said something the other day that made a lot of sense, where he set an intention to want to receive confirmation about something. And he finally realized that maybe what his intention is to what he wants to see and what's actually showing up doesn't match. And sometimes what we have to do is we have to let go of what we think we want the answer to be, and to be open to hearing what the answer is. Because if we're constantly setting out that intention, like, okay, so if this is supposed to be, I'm going to see the color orange. And you may not get to see the color orange. You might get to see a different color, because it might be an indication that maybe what you think is supposed to be, or how you think it's supposed to look, may not look that way. And you have to be willing to let go of your expectations to what you think something's going to be. And when we do that, that allows us to be more open and flow to what is coming in. And I think as humans, we always want to control and drive the car. And I think at this point in time, we have to get in the habit of not being in control here and see what happens. What happens if we step back and allow our higher power to guide us and lead us through where we're supposed to be going with all of this energy?
Yes, because it is a lot. I mean, the fact that Jupiter and they're having these conversations, this inner planet Mercury and Jupiter is also having these conversations with these higher out, farther out planets. And for those who don't know, farther out planets is more collective energy. So it's more beyond what is seen and what is heard. It's the power of the group. It's the power of energies together. And so they're having a direct conversation about where we're going to expand, and the communication about how that's going to look. Because Jupiter is the planet of expansion, and it's in this Aries energy wanting you to start. So now you've also have Mercury here internally listening to all of this and saying, hey guys, pay attention to those synchronicities. There's a reason today is 11, 22, and 33. And I didn't even get to catch the beginning of your program, but that is hugely important.
Yes. Because again, when we think about those three numbers, the 11 is the master healer, where we are literally healing a relationship with ourselves. We cannot heal relationships with others unless we heal the relationship with ourselves. And then that 22, which is the master builder, where we're in the process of building something bigger than what we can even imagine it to be. Every one of us have to move into that energy of whatever our vision is, whatever we think our dreams are, it's so much bigger than that. And if we allow ourselves to step out of our way, we will be able to create that bigger thing. And then, of course, 33 is the master creator, master teacher, where it's almost like we have to sacrifice what we thought our dreams were and allow ourselves to step in to that scary place of like, oh, shoot, this is supposed to be bigger than that. And and release all of the self-doubt that we may end up having, thinking, well, am I really going to be able to do this? Am I really going to be able to pull this off? Well, yeah, obviously you are, because if your higher power ordained you to do this higher, bigger thing, then you're going to be able to pull it off. You just have to go back into trusting that this is what's going to be. So those 3 numbers, very powerful for today.
It's very powerful. That 33 is often called the Christ vibration. It's that ascended master.
Yes.
You know, that 22 is exactly, 22 is actually one of my favorite numbers because it's 2 and 11. And, you know, if the 11 could be added, it would be 2. And so 22 just has to build from, you know, it's that bridge to our ascended self from our private, you know, portal self, and 22 is kind of the pause. So to have them all 3 today is a great day to be quiet, also to be a physical and out of your mind a little bit, excuse the expression, out of your mind, but out of, you know, into your body, so that you are paying attention and clearing space for what it is you need to hear.
Exactly. And what I like to do, I like for Kitty just to let people know how they can find her. And there's a flyer for this too. So let them know how they can reach you. They're on Facebook. We have a group called Intuition of the Soul. And Intuition of the Soul is a platform where our wonderful Joanne has been on it. We're going to be asking her to come back, where we have people come and teach us things. And you can reach me, message me through there, or you can message me through something called Optimize Your Energies with the Moon and Stars. It's a course, it's a group where we take our astrology charts and we learn to look at our energies of our own charts and try to manifest with the moon and the stars. I can be reached at intuitionofthesoul11, all spelled together, at gmail.com. Intuitionofthesoul11 at gmail.com. Awesome. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and perhaps Kitty might be coming back. We'll find that out once we're on that break. So we're going to take that break. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, I'm Kendrick Cortez Greer, personal astrologer and astrological counselor here in Brooklyn, New York. I've been an astrologer for over 23 years now, providing astrological readings, counseling sessions, workshops, and corporate events all throughout the tri-state area. I've been very blessed and lucky to have clients all throughout the United States and beyond. If you're interested in a reading that is warm, heartfelt, honest, and conducive to speaking to one of your best friends, please contact me at 917-863-7528. You can also email me at kendrickstar@gmail.com. That's Kendrick, STAR, @gmail.com. And for you Insta people, find me on Instagram at Kendrick Cortez Astrology. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Toodles.
Hey, this is Joe Monkman, and I am a personal development trainer. And that means that I help people step into their leadership roles, take their place as a visionary, really understand their own mastery in the world so that they can really find their place at the buffet of life. And if you want to know more, you can find me on my Facebook page at Joe Monkman and joemonkman@gmail.com.
Hello, my name is Nick Rafter, journalist, writer, editor. I'm happy to be offering copy editing and line editing services at competitive industry rates. If you have a book or any document that needs to be edited and thoroughly looked through, please contact me at nickrafter@gmail.com. Let's discuss how to get that work done. That's Nick Rafter, NICKRAFTER, @gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. If you are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Colon, and I have my amazing guest, Kitty Foss here, who is our storyteller of astrology. And if you've missed the first portion of today's show, please go back and watch. You can watch on any platform and also Roku. And for those of you who live in Long Island, we are now on Optimum TV, channel 115, 2 p.m. on Thursdays. So what I like to throw into today's information, based on our numerology, which is a major date for today, that 11/22/33. Again, with master numbers, we don't bring them down to single digits, but just for today and to have a little fun, what I do want to do is I want to recognize that the 11 is a 2, the 22 is a 4, and the 33 is a 6. So we have that 2, 4, 6. And I always like to say when numbers show up like that, that's reminding us that everything is in perfect order. So that 2 energy is about our partnership. The 4 energy is about our foundation with our partnerships. And that 6 energy is about healing and being the healer, because every one of us have the ability to be the healer. We don't necessarily have to go look for a healer to heal. When we work with healers, all the healers are actually doing is helping us to activate our own healing abilities. And that's that partnership that we have with ourselves and the foundation that we work on within ourselves. So, Kitty, give a little bit of a tip for our viewers who are watching with us live and or watching on the replay. If you could provide a tip on how they can really not just benefit from today's energy, but also benefit from the energy that's coming in going forward. After all, this energy stays with us for what, 6 months, you said?
Yes, the shadow of this eclipse season stays with us for 6 months. And this is a very powerful one because of the Taurus energy that's powerful this year. So Taurus is about your values. So really honing in on what it is on a daily basis do I value, what it is that and it's Taurus is stability, Taurus is home. And it's not a mistake that it's the 2nd house of value, 2, the 4th house of family, 4, and the 6th house of body and systems and service. So those are kind of the themes, exactly what they would be. What is it that I value in my home and my family and the world I want to create? Because we have our individual home and then the bigger home. And then what systems can I serve with that? How do I serve and look at the systems to make them work? So those would be those concentrations over the next, especially the next month. We've been coming in, we've been in this great pause. There's been things coming to us and it's been kind of this motion. And now is slowly a time to work, but with discernment, with the steps forward that you feel support you, no matter how small, because it's not quite, the clarity is beginning, but it's not quite there yet. And trust it. I think you said it best in the last segment. This is about the trust of the flow. And when I'm feeling it's time for me to be quiet, pay attention to what's going around, and it will bring me to my next step.
Exactly. And I couldn't have said that better. Excellent. Now, with the time we have remaining, Kitty, I usually like to give my guests a reading. Are you open to one?
Oh, I would love one.
All right. So all I like for you to do is just say your full name that's on your birth certificate out loud for me 3 times so I can activate your energy.
Catherine Judith Budeweg. Catherine Judith Budeweg. Catherine Judith Budeweg.
Okay. And with that being said, I want you to think about a question that you would like some guidance on. Do not share that question with me. Just hold it in your mind's eye. And let's see if our cards can give you some insight on that question. All right, when you're ready, you're welcome to open your eyes. It's very funny that this card's showing up right now because this was our card that we had in our introduction, but it's in an upright position, so it means it's not in reverse, so it's not like it's major for you to pay attention to this, but pay attention to it anyway. The word is communication. Communication. What is it that you're going to be communicating? What is it that you want the world to hear from you? What message do you want to share with the world? And how do you want to start changing up how you network with your community? How do you even want to change your community for that matter? That 3 energy is about learning to listen, but also being the teacher that you are. And that this going forward, there's going to be a lot of teaching opportunities for you. Now, interesting enough, because I do know a little bit about Kitty. Kitty is a former teacher. She was a teacher many years back. And it's very interesting that that's the energy that's showing up right now. Where she was the traditional teacher in a classroom, now she's going to be the spiritual teacher in going forward in regards to all the things that she is doing. Lots of new projects coming in for you going forward. A lot of projects that you will be doing in partnership with somebody's, but also lots of projects that you're going to be doing on your own as well. So pay attention to that. Throat chakra, because of that communication, definitely activating, and things you're going to want to be saying, but also doing a lot more listening to spirit. Not so much about listening to other people, but spirit. Spirit has a lot of insight that they want to provide you so you could do what you need to do going forward. And the heart chakra, high heart, which is all about that connection that you have with the joy, the calmness, and the heart and the throat coming together. Does this make sense? And does it answer the question that you had in mind?
Yes, it does. It makes very good sense.
Excellent. I love that. I love that.
It was more guidance and how for something to happen. And that's exactly, makes perfect sense.
Yes. And I love the fact that this was the card we had earlier. So not only did Kitty need it personally, but because we had it earlier, it was a collective message as well. But may not mean the same thing for everyone from the earlier part of today's show as it does for what it means for Kitty right now. So I love that. I love that. Excellent. So do you have any final words you want to share with our audience?
What I'm hearing is, pay attention to the peace this week, because there will be, make no mistake, because of the way Mercury and Jupiter are with these planets, there will be sparking for what is right, what needs to be said, but pay attention to the peacefulness that is there too. Find those threads, and no matter what's going on.
Excellent, excellent. And one last time, Kitty, let our viewers know how they can reach you.
Sure. You can reach me at intuitionofthesoul11, all spelled out, at gmail.com, or you can reach me at Intuition of the Soul on Facebook. There's both a public group and a private group. And if you're interested in astrology and want to learn more about your own chart, contact us at Optimize Your Energy with the Moon and the Stars on Facebook. That's a whole platform of people learning about their charts. Not to be an astrologist, but how do I read my own energy and my own chart?
Yes, and I do think that's important. I know when I go live, I'm always letting my viewers know that they need to have their chart in front of them, because I'm always talking about how the particular planets that are going on right now, how it is actually aligned with you as an individual. And each of us, depending on where the planet is personally on your chart, has a specific theme to what this energy is going to help you with going forward. And when you understand your chart, you could then better understand Kitty and I when we're chatting together and having
That's
fun.
true.
Yes.
And having fun. We have a good time always.
Yes, yes, yes. So Kitty, I want to thank you for being here today, and I appreciate all that you've shared, and I appreciate our time together. So I thank you for taking time out of your crazy day, and I do look forward to having you back here. You'll be back here in a few weeks, sharing about astrology for that matter. So
yes, what's a real interesting topic. So
yes. So we're going to take a commercial break, and I'll be back with the conclusion of today's show.
Hi everyone, I'm Kitty Foss.
And I'm Amy J.
And we're Intuition of the Soul. We are a Facebook and YouTube group that has created a sacred spiritual place to look at your spiritual practices.
And there's too much to tell you about what we do, but let me tell you, we have weekly activities, we have monthly activities, and you are not going to want to miss our Spiritual Practitioner series. So join us on Intuition of the Soul.
Aloha.
Have you had COVID, the jab, booster, taking weekly tests, or been around anyone who has? Hello, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, the owner of Holistic Fitness located in Queens, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast Stack. I would love to help you restore your immune system with Chakra Balance Reiki. I'm currently offering 3- and 6-month prescription plans. All sessions are available virtually and on site. To find out which plan best suits you. Text 646-236-9155. I do look forward to helping you restore your immune system and getting onto the road of recovery.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. You're definitely going to have to come back and watch from the very beginning because we're literally at the very end. Today's show was magnificent. I had my amazing guest, storyteller of astrology, Kitty Foss, and she shared some amazing insight regarding Mercury dipping back into Taurus and a lot of other insight as well. So please go back and watch today's show. And I shared a lot of insight regarding this amazing date we have going on. 5/22/2022 equals out to 11/22/33. 3 master numbers in one date. It's the first time, at least from what I know, that this has ever happened in our dates. So it makes today's date very magical and significant as well. With all that being said, very quickly, I just want to highlight some of my advertising sponsors in regards to some of the events that they do. Now, you can actually view all the flyers as they show up in regards to getting any information that you need so you can connect with each and every one of our advertising sponsors. So here we go. We have Spirit Messages and Energy Insights hosted by Joe Monkman. His events show up every month. Dates is on the flyer. Then the Author's Porch podcast and magazine, hosted by and published by CJ Ives Lopez. Her newest magazine is coming out in July. I'll be sharing more about that once we get there. Intuition of the Soul, hosted by Kitty Foss, who was our guest today, and Amy Martin. They have some amazing programs going on, and you can definitely take advantage. Check them out. Information on the flyer. Then we also have Morse Wellness. Self-Healing, Education, Regeneration by Dr. Terry Moss. She'll actually be on our show a week from next Sunday. So 2 weeks from now, she'll be on our show as well. And then, last but not least, if you want to find your place with Nick Rafter, whether you're looking to buy, sell, or rent, you can connect with him as well. So that's what I have for you again as the flyer is up. In 2 weeks from today, I'll be back on again with Dr. Terry Moss. She and I will be sharing some amazing information. You don't want to miss it. And because I was out for the last 2 weeks, go back and watch any of the shows that you have missed. Watch those shows. My Twitter, YouTube, on Optimum TV, channel 15, 2 p.m. every Thursday. That being said, I look forward to seeing you. If not next Sunday, definitely the following Sunday. Have yourself a great day. Enjoy this amazing energy and enjoy the planets as they start to shift. Lots of planets shifting this week. So hang in there. Bye-bye for now.